if you were to measure it by like financial, whatever other metrics that like our society values, I'm a total failure. But in terms of what I'm able to produce, I produce content. And so sometimes you just have to say, well, if this was making millions of dollars, would I still be a failure? And if the answer is no, then okay, well, then what you're doing is probably pretty good. There's just no market for it. Doesn't mean you're a failure. You just, in a real failure, it's just not trying, because you're never going to know if something's going to work or not unless you try. You're never going to know if that girl is interested in you or not unless you talk to her. You're never going to know if you're good enough to do something unless you attempt to do it. And a lot of people use fear and whatever else to say, I'm not going to do that. That's kind of like the whole black community, black pill community, whatever the hell it's called. They're just like, oh, everything's too far gone. It's too, I don't want, yeah. It's too, women are this, women are that. I just don't need, no, it's like, dude, no. Women are the way they've always been. We just live in an environment that enables some of those, exploits some of those features or those, things that make them behave a certain way, and it's not in your best interest, but you just got to be realistic about it. And that's all. You don't need to get mad. It's not about, Rollo Tomasi's latest book is really good. I don't like the pill things, but red pill is a thing, right? When people say red pill, they know what you mean. And he said the whole point of the red pill is not so that you hate women. It's so that you don't hate them for what they can never be to you.
Wow.
And that goes with idealism. A lot of times our beliefs, they're beliefs, they're not knowledge. They're what you think of the world, not what the world actually works like. So if you could just observe reality and base your decision-making and judgments on how people actually behave versus how you think they behave or want them to behave, you'll have more realistic interactions, and you won't have expectations that can never be met. And that's often where a lot of our suffering comes from, is we have expectations that we never reach, and anything below that is like a disappointment. And I would encourage people to not have that, or to not like install that in their firmware.